Welcome, boys and girls. Perhaps this is the last session I am going to have with you as far as pronunciation is concerned. I told you pronunciation is the first unit or the first module in A01, that is the textbook prescribed is Transactions, subtitled as Essential English Language Skills, in which pronunciation is the first module, and we are in the last session of the first module, continuing with L1 interference, meaning interference of mother tongue while speaking English. We have dealt with, in total we are dealing with 10 key areas of how mother tongue influences while speaking English, and we have already dealt with 7 of them. We will deal with number 8, 9 and 10, and then we'll have a quick recapitulation, a quick revision of what we were doing. Now, without wasting time, let us go to the next interference, L1 interference. It is also known as negative transfer. Now, the 8th one is the problem with the sound z. In English, we have a definite sound which we have in words like zoo, zoology. It is actually a reverberating sound, z, whereas the other one is s sound, which is simple, which you have in Malayalam. So because we don't have this z in Malayalam, Malayali speakers of English tend to pronounce this sound as s itself. That is why we say, I went to the zoo, I saw a zebra, which is wrong. Actually, it should be zoo, zoo, zebra, zero. So this is the problem with the Malayali speakers. Malayali speakers of English, due to absence of a corresponding Malayalam sound z, tend to replace it by s, which is a wrong pronunciation again. That is number 8. Number 9, it's a big problem. It's a problem with the problem of pronunciation of certain numbers. For example, EL, EVEN. Malayali speakers, many of them, because of the influence of their mother tongue, they tend to pronounce it as 11, la, starting with la, 11, which is wrong. It should be 11, 11, 11, 11. The same problem we have with the word T, with the number TWELVE. It is actually 12, but Malayali speakers tend to pronounce it as 12. 12. No, it is 12. In the same way, we have the same problem with the number 20. 20 it is, but it is mispronounced by Malayalis as 20. 20, which is wrong. It is 20. And the last, the 10th area, is the wrong assimilation and common mispronunciation of some words. Say, for example, Malayali speakers of English, for the word UNCLE, we say ungle, ungle, correct? Ungle. Actually, the word should be pronounced as uncle, uncle. You got it? This is a mispronunciation by Malayalis. Another word, another example is the word computer. Malayalis call this gadget as computer, computer, but actually the correct pronunciation is computer, computer. This is a problem also faced by Malayali speakers of English. And a word like I go to the canteen, canteen, da sound. Actually it is t sound, canteen, canteen, canteen. And again a word like simple. Malayali speakers tend to mispronounce the word as symbol. It is a simple solution, symbol. Actually the word is, the correct pronunciation is simple, ple, simple, simple. So these are some of the common errors, or the L1 interference of L1 interference among Malayali speakers of English. Now let us recapitulate what we were doing all this time. That is, right now we were dealing with the L1 interference. L1 interference, as I told you, when one learns a second language after acquiring a first language, in our case mother tongue, Malayalam, features of the first language interfere with those of second language. This is called L1 interference or negative transfer. Those people who have their mother tongue as Hindi, they tend to speak English, which is Hinglish. Those people who have Malayalam as their mother tongue speak English because of the influence of the mother tongue. They speak a kind of English called Manglish. Then we speak English under the influence of the pronunciation patterns of Malayalam. Malayalam but is phonetic, whereas English is unphonetic, and that is why this difference in pronunciation happens. And I told you, if you remember, Malayalam is a stress-timed language, whereas English is a stress-timed language. Malayalam is a syllable-timed language, and that is why many of the interferences come into effect, or they mispronounce the words in English. The first one was pronouncing silent letters. I told you the best example is that of budget. We Malayalis tend to pronounce the word as budget, whereas the correct pronunciation is without the d sound, budget. That happens in many other words also. The second one is pronunciation of double letters. Whenever we see double letters, we tend to give more stress on that, or more force on that. For example, in a word like bullet, Malayalis pronounce the word as bullet, whereas the correct English pronunciation is bullet. The best example is summer, summer. Malayalis spell or pronounce the word as summer, whereas the correct pronunciation is summer, without any force on the double letters. Third one is pronouncing words without stress shift. Now actually, when the stress is shifted, actually the class of the word changes. For example, in a word like project, when you say project, it is understood. It is used as a noun or an adjective. But when it is pronounced as project, second syllable, stress, sorry, the function of the word is that of a verb. Fourth one, spelling pronunciation of phonologically conditioned plural. Now that is es, s, and past tense morpheme ed. We have three distinct present tense modifications. Like in a word like rose, roses, it is roses, is. Dog, dogs, it is z, dogs. Look, looks, it is s only, sir sound only, looks. In the same way, in the past tense morpheme, when we add ed, it is pronounced in three different ways. I told you, one is id. For example, root, rooted. Root plus ed becomes rooted. Rub plus ed becomes rubbed, d sound. But when it is look, L-O-O-K-E-D, ed is added, the sound becomes looked, the t sound. The fifth one is wrong articulation of weak function class words. For example, instead of saying I'm coming, Malayalis tend to pronounce it I am coming. It is wrong, I am coming. In the same way, can I go? Can I go? It is not can I go, but can I go? Then I talk to you about intrusive y, that is including or bringing in a y sound unnecessarily. For example, in a word like cap, we mispronounce it as cap. In the same way, can, no, can. It is k, a, and n, can. And then we have the phonetic fossils, I told you, that is some words which are used both in English and Malayalam. For example, sponge. Malayali speakers tend to pronounce it or mispronounce it as sponge, whereas the correct pronunciation of the word is sponge. In the same way, divorce, not divorce. Diabetes, wrong, diabetes. And then we have the problem with the sound z in English, because in Malayalam we don't have an equivalent in z, and that is why we mispronounce the word zoo as su and zebra as zebra, whereas it should be, the correct pronunciation is zoo and zebra. The next one, the problem is certain numbers, 12, 20 and 11, all wrong. It should be or 11, 20 and 12. This is a wrong pronunciation of Malayalam. And lastly, wrong articulation of common mispronunciations like uncle, computer and symbol. Actually, the words should be, the correct pronunciations are uncle, k sound, computer, per sound, simple, per sound again. So that is where we come to an end of this L1 interference in English. Now, boys and girls, I have been trying to tell you about this A01. The first module of the text or the syllabus is that of pronunciation, and in the first session we began with a general introduction to the study of English at the degree level. You may ask me, I told you that I am doing my BCom or BSc. Why English for us? And I explained to you the reason. That is, good communication skills in English is necessary for anybody who is looking for a job these days, because English has become an international language. It is the language of science, it is the language of technology, it is the language of tourism, it is the language of commerce and industry. And learning English and being able to communicate well in English has become a very necessary skill for anybody who is trying to get a decent job in this world. Now, There are two or three things which I told you to be an effective communicator. It is fluency of the language, accuracy of the language, and appropriacy of the language. If you have all these together, then you become a good communicator. Good in all the skills, 4 skills of the language: listening, speaking, reading, and writing the language. And after that, I told you English as an unphonetic language. In the correctness of the language, the second one, that is accuracy of the language. I told you accuracy means correctness. Correctness in many aspects, and it is correctness also in pronunciation. And then we came to the particular area, the particular topic which we are dealing with, that is pronunciation. Why learn pronunciation? Not to speak like Englishmen, but when we speak English, the native speaker should be able to understand us, and that is why we try to learn basic lessons of pronunciation. In learning the basic lessons in pronunciation, I told you that English is an unphonetic language and Malayalam is a phonetic language. English unphonetic because there is no one-to-one correspondence between the letter we use, the alphabet we use, and the sound produced by it. To overcome this problem, English language has developed a set of symbols known as phonemic symbols. It is also known as International Phonetic Alphabet. There are 44 of them, which is divided into 2 categories. First one, 20 vowel sounds, symbols representing vowel sounds, and 24 consonants. Out of these 20 vowel sounds, it is again divided into 2 categories, that is 12 pure vowels and 8 diphthongs. And I explained to you what diphthongs are. And when we came to what is known as stress in English, word stress in English, there are, in that context, I told you about the syllables in English, which is known as the unit of sound. Now, in words of more than 2 syllables, all the syllables are not pronounced with the same stress or same force. It shifts from place to place, and I gave you a list of rules regarding all these stress shift. And if you don't use the correct stress, the function of the word changes. Now, noun becomes verb, and verb becomes sometimes noun and adjective. And finally, we were talking about L1 interference, that is interference of mother tongue while speaking English. And I tried to explain to you 10 major areas, key areas where Malayalis have this mispronouncing habit because of the influence of the mother tongue. And I explained to you 10 of them. And with that, we come to an end of the first unit or the first module of the syllabus which is prescribed to you, namely pronunciation. I hope you remember how important pronunciation is while speaking English, because a native speaker will be able to understand what you speak in English only if you pronounce correctly. Learn pronunciation, practice pronunciation. In case of a doubt, you know the symbols, 44 of them. Please refer to a standard dictionary. Thank you for listening to me, and have a nice day.